You know, America, there's a situation going on in Tennessee, in and around Nashville, where my kids and grandkids live. Our kids and grandkids live. It's getting some attention, but it's not getting enough national attention, so I intend to do that starting this minute. Michael Patrick Leahy is a good man. Every now and then my wife has written pieces for the Tennessee Star there. Michael Patrick Leahy is a conservative, but he's also a media man. He's a writer. He's the CEO and editor-in-chief of the Tennessee Star, which is a great newspaper, as well as others, quite frankly. Now, Michael Patrick Leahy, what is taking place there? Start from the beginning. Concisely tell us what's going on, because this story is going to be very, very important to my audience.
Well, thank you, Mark, for this opportunity. On March 27th, 2023, 28-year-old Audrey Elizabeth Hale, born female, who self-identified as a transgender male using the name Aiden, heavily armed, walked into her former elementary school at Covenant School here in Nashville, and she murdered 3 young 9-year-old students and 3 staffers. Within about 20 minutes, Metro Nashville Police Department arrived and killed her. Subsequently, a massive investigation by Metro Nashville Police took place. And in that investigation, they uncovered a great deal of writings by her, including a journal for the last 3 months of her life that was left in her vehicle at the school, as well as a spiral notebook, sort of an operational plan, and about 20 notebooks that they found from her house, where she was a couple miles away, where she lived with her parents. Those notebooks, those journals from the house, went back to about middle school, so about 15 years. All told, probably 500 pages of her writings. So what happened next is, at the Tennessee Star, Mark, we said, okay, we want to get those writings. So we applied through the Tennessee Public Records Act with Metro Nashville Police. They denied us, so we filed a lawsuit. Then Metro Nashville Police gave those 500 pages of writings to a judge in state court who's presiding over this, Lashia Miles. She's been reviewing them in camera for over a year. So that's where everything was until earlier this month, when we received legally obtained some documents, including 80 pages from the journal that she left in her car and other items. So we started writing about it. We've written about 30 stories on it. And then, you're not going to believe this, Mark. On Monday last, June 10th, I'm, working away. My lawyer...
Now, before we get to this, what did you find in these journals? What did you publish?
Well, of the journals, we found 80 pages of the diary that was kept from January through March of 2023. And they came in the form of 40 images. Each images had 2 pages of the diary. So that's what we have. We haven't published a single one of those.
Mm-hmm.
We have, however, written stories based on those, about 30. So and it's a very disturbing tale. She was suffering from autism, wanted to kill her father, talked about her imaginary penis. Very, very disturbing. So then I got, on Monday evening, the presiding judge sent me a show cause hearing order requiring me to attend court this Monday to explain to her why I hadn't violated the court orders. Now, this was quite bizarre.
All right, let's stop right there. Why you violated the court orders? There was no court order involving you, correct?
That is correct. It's even weirder, Mark. In her court order, she said she got a media call from somebody claiming we had published documents under her review. Who did that? A reporter for WSMV News, a NBC affiliate here in Nashville, Stacey Cameron, called her up and said, hey, falsely said we published the documents and that we violated this non-existing court order. You ought to charge this guy with contempt of court. That's what she did at 4:44 p.m. on Monday.
So, did you go to court Monday?
Well, the order came June 10th. I hired a fantastic First Amendment attorney. His name is Daniel Horowitz, Horwitz. He pointed out to her in an emergency motion that she couldn't do that because she had to give me notice. So she said, okay, I'm going to deny your motion to set aside, but you got to show up anyway. Okay, so we showed up on Monday. The court hearing had nothing to do with me. Instead, what the judge said was, I want to hear from all the participants and see if the stories based on these 80 pages makes my ruling on the 500 pages I have moot. They all said no. So, but at the end of the hearing, Mark, she said, I'm going to issue a court order. I may order a special prosecutor to go after you, Leahy. So stick around.
Go after you for what? First of all, the court order doesn't apply to you. You can't just issue a court order that applies universally and generally to everybody.
Well, my attorney at the hearing, in the 7 minutes he had of the hour and 10 minutes of the hearing, so my attorney says, what court order did you claim that my client violated? And the judge, Judge Lashia Miles, tells him, I'm not going to allow you to ask that question here, Mr. Horowitz. He says, why? You called my client in here to show cause why you shouldn't charge him with contempt of court for just publishing documents or stories about documents he legally obtained. To which the judge said, oh, no, that's not why we're here today, Mr. Horowitz. We're here so I can just get the landscape of where this case is right now.
What?
And everybody said, no, I kid you not, Mark. I kid you not. And my attorney then went on to say, well, but Your Honor, nobody here said Mr. Leahy's done anything wrong or violated any of your orders. And she shut him down. She said, stop it. Basically, I'm not going to do that right now. The time is not right for this. So the hearing ended.
So now what happens?
Well, now we're waiting on whatever her order is going to be. She has threatened and still threatens to set up a special prosecutor, an obscure rule under Tennessee Criminal Procedures Rule 42B that does allow a judge to appoint a friend of the court to investigate someone they think may have committed criminal contempt. It's very rarely been used in the state of Tennessee. The last time we could find that it was used, Mark, was back in 1995 when an attorney in a case, after the outcome was not favorable to him, started yelling and screaming at the jury. That's the only time we can find it.
So where can you go now? Probably you just have to sit and wait this out?
Well, Mark, the reaction to her conduct and really her denial of my civil rights and her denial of my right to have my attorney respond to the basic purpose of the show cause hearing has not been well received throughout all of Nashville. And so we'll just wait and see if she's going to assign a special prosecutor. She has no evidence. She has no reason. I've done nothing wrong. I'm just exercising my First Amendment rights. I have legally obtained these documents, and I have every right in the world, if I want to publish all these documents. But I've taken a more cautious approach because she's supposed to make a decision in the next couple of weeks about whether or not she'll release all 500 pages. And so we were just going to wait and see. But we'll see. I mean, look, she may appoint a special prosecutor, but I'm just going to say there's no crime here. We have to guess what the crime is, I suppose, Mark.
What are they afraid of in these documents? Are you able to even tell me?
Well,
if not, don't. But there seems to be, it's like these are classified documents. I mean, it's about this individual who went into this school and shot it up, and the secrecy surrounding this is unbelievable.
There's a couple things to tell you here. First, she's only under review, the 500 or so pages of writings of the Covenant killer. But we have obtained legally other documents, which are blockbusters. One document is a memo from the FBI to the Metro Nashville Police Chief, John Drake, May 11th, 2023. A 3-page memo. The subject line is Protection of Legacy Tokens. Have you ever heard of a legacy token, Mark?
No. What is it?
It is a term invented by the FBI 4 or 5 years ago. It relates to any video or writing or social media posting left behind by a mass murderer after a mass murder takes place. And it explains their motivation, and they take credit for it. Now, the FBI wrote from their Quantico, Virginia, Behavioral Analysis Unit, the Critical Response Group, wrote to the chief of police here in Nashville on May 11th and said, don't ever release these legacy documents. One, because there'll be copycats. Two, radio pontificators will misinterpret them, and the people will misunderstand them. And three, and certain groups, Mark, might be hurt by it. Basically, transgender killers, right? But Mark, wait, there's more. In this memo, the FBI said, oh, by the way, Metro Nashville Police Chief, there's precedent for destroying these kind of legacy tokens.
Oh, geez.
These documents. And basically they say in 1999, the Columbine killer videotapes were destroyed. So they didn't say destroy the documents, but they basically said, you know,
is the public ever going to know what happened here with this woman?
Oh, yes. We have another blockbuster, which we just released today, Mark, and that is this woman was treated by Vanderbilt University Medical Center at Vanderbilt Psychiatric for 22 years, from 2001. And we have police notes of documents obtained from her treatment there from Vanderbilt University Medical Center professionals in which she said she wanted to kill her father and fantasized about a mass shooting at a school. There's a duty to warn law here, Mark, in Tennessee, and from what we can tell, nobody at Vanderbilt University Medical Center followed that duty to warn. The father was not warned, and no other precautions were undertaken.
Well, I guess you're going to stay on it as long as they don't throw you in jail for some absurd reason that you can't even figure out, right?
Well, Mark, it's only 10 days in jail. I can do I can do it if necessary, but it won't come to that. If the judge sicks a criminal prosecutor after me and with no evidence puts me in jail for 10 days, you're in for like an hour. It's automatic bail. They book you, you come out. On appeal, this thing will be unanimously overturned.
I agree with you. Well, keep us informed, as I know you will. To me, this is really outrageous. All this is going on because they don't want more information coming out about this individual who slaughtered these people. It was weird from day one when the police, local police there, said, no, we're not releasing it. I mean, I've never heard of a case like this where all the information is not released. There's nobody to prosecute. She's dead.
Yeah, it's very weird, Mark. If I could ask if any of your listeners want to help us with our legal fees, then go to TennesseeStar.com, TennesseeStar.com/donate, TennesseeStar.com/donate. I have a fantastic First Amendment attorney, but as you know, Mark, it is not inexpensive to hire a fantastic First Amendment attorney.
No, it's not. All right, brother. Well, good luck. Keep us informed. Appreciate you.
Mark, thank you again for this great opportunity.
You bet. Folks, help them out. It's important.